How does a superintendent get fired? I've talked in another video about how superintendents can get fired, or why should they be fired, or if they can be fired. But this one I'm going to talk to you about how superintendents do get fired. So you'll get a list and a really good bit of advice, and I think this is going to be really helpful for you if you're wondering if you're going to get fired, and if you're somebody in the organization that's watching this situation play out. So I don't think it's funny, by the way. I'm just trying to be a passionate, positive mood about this, but I am attempting to help everyone, the team not to engage in toxic behavior and the individual to succeed. So that's what we're doing. Stay with us. So let me talk to you about how does a superintendent get fired. The base answer for this is this. A superintendent gets fired when the value that they're providing is less than the difficulty it takes to employ them. And I know that that might seem a little bit, I would just say probably unfeeling, but the bottom line is whether it's non-performance, not showing up, stubbornness, non-growth mindset, what I've seen over and over is superintendents get fired when their value, and this could be real or perceived value, is less than what it takes to actually have them in the organization. That's really the bottom line. And so that's what you have to worry about. Now, the reason I brought this up is because you can be safe any job, anywhere, any project, as long as you're adding value. Things that don't, being stubborn doesn't add value. Fighting with team members doesn't add value. Disrespect to the team doesn't add value. Not accomplishing your portion of the work doesn't add value. Not knowing what you're doing doesn't add value, right? So the less value you add, the more likely it is that you're going to get fired. So you have got to become a giver, a go-giver, an ideal team player, and go serve, and I'm going to say the word, don't follow me for this, serve and love and give. You've got to do that. You've got to make it easier on the people on the team than if you weren't there. Here's the bottom line, and Kate has said this over and over. For people that have been let go of Elevate before, this is basically what Kate has said to them, our CEO. Hey, your job was to make Jason's life easier, or Kevin's life easier, or the lean tact engineer's lives easier. Meaning, like, I'm always on the road, I'm always traveling, I'm doing content, I'm with clients, I'm on job sites, and we're doing a construction company, a consulting business, and a training company. We're doing all these different things, right? It's tough. If you work at Elevate, you are here to take a load off of me. If you are fake, it's a burden. If you don't know what you're doing and won't learn, that's a burden. If you are just pretend and all talk, or as they say in the South, all hat and no cattle, that is a burden. If you're not trusting the system and the process in your team, that is a burden. If you are not open to feedback, that is a burden. If you have to be monitored all the time, that is a burden. If your parents or life or whatever didn't teach you a work ethic and you literally have to be pushed and cajoled and prodded into doing work, that is a burden, right? If you're on technology too much and you're distracted and we can't peel you off of social media, that is a burden. If you can't dig in and own relationships, that is a burden. If you can't be accountable, that is a burden. So all of these things are tallying up in the negative instead of the value add column in the positive. So that's why superintendents get fired. And I will give you a list here in just a minute, but let me just say this. We should fire more superintendents that are not performing. We do too little of it and we tolerate too much bad behavior. So let me even just say this. All those 10 things that I just said, if you're starting to accrue that negative balance and you're worried, then it's bad, because the construction industry will really tolerate like quite a bit of crap from a superintendent, and we shouldn't do it. Okay, and so let me just tell you my things for a superintendent. I will not tolerate them having the plan in their head. I will not tolerate a fixed mindset. I will not tolerate disrespect. I will not tolerate the unwillingness to align with company values and core values. I will not tolerate not holding the line when it comes to safety and quality. So this should give you a bit of a framework, but let me tell you some things that will indicate that you are on your path to getting fired. Okay, so number one, poor job performance. If you're not performing, and by the way, job performance means that you have an unclean, unsafe, and unorganized project. You're out of role and off at Home Depot or doing lower level work. You're not finishing on time and hitting your milestones. You're not managing the supply chain. You're not utilizing technology, and you're not implementing lean systems. These are all indicators that you are on your way out. Number two, violation of company policies. This could be company policies relating to dressing and appearance, to conduct, misconduct, to drugs and alcohol, to harassment and discrimination. And harassment and discrimination policies should be in every company. And really the bottom line here is that like you cannot violate the non-negotiables for a company. If you do, you're on your way out. Let me tell you a story that I don't like that was really disappointing to me, but we had in a company where I worked a superintendent. It was pretty good super, ran a decent job. People didn't really connect with him. He's kind of a loner. When he went off on his own time, and this is going to cause some drama with y'all, I'm okay with that because I'm here to help your career, was off posting racist and sexist things on Facebook and LinkedIn and other places. And the company was like, oh, no, we do not do that. We do not think that. We are not around that. We do not hire people that are like that. This individual is gone. And that like literally flatlined that guy's career. And I do not yet know, every time I check in, he still has not recovered from it. You cannot violate company policies. You have to know where the boundaries are, where the bumpers are, and stay in the lane. Number 3, misconduct. If you are guilty of theft, fraud, having a conflict of interest, sexual harassment, discrimination, dishonesty, like I said, cheating, embezzlement, fraud, you are going to get fired. I just want you to know nowadays, lawyers and the legal department don't even allow company owners to make that call anymore. You do that, you're gone. Number 4, insubordination. If your project executive or general superintendent cannot get you to follow company policy and you are constantly disobeying or you can't fit within the team, then that is an automatic red flag and you will be let go. Number 5, poor work ethic. I have actually never seen this go well ever. Companies can tolerate a lot from superintendents if they'll just show up on time for work. But if you're going to be late or not be there, it's not going to work. You will get fired. 6, substance abuse, alcohol abuse, use of illegal drugs. People don't play with that stuff anymore. That's going to get somebody hurt. You will be let go. Number 7, negative attitude. Now, you should be let go for this, even if it's just a little bit. Most companies don't. Most people will tolerate this. But let me talk from a perspective of coaching an HR department or a company. Simon Sinek mentioned the SEAL Team 6 approach, where if you have a low trust, high trust, low performance, high performance, and you look at the boxes, you want a high trust, high performing individual, but there's also low trust, high performing, so that's your high performing a-hole. And then you have the high trust but low performance category. And what Simon Sinek said that he learned when learning about the SEAL Team 6 approach that the Navy SEALs take in the United States is that they would rather have a high trust, low performer than a high performer, low trust person on their team. And that's always how they form the team in SEAL Team 6. They never have high-performing a-holes because it's so detrimental to the team, right? You can see this with basketball players, football players, soccer players, right? There are certain players, they might even be able to score a lot, but they're toxic for the team, so their net score goes down. Other players that might not make as many shots, make as many scores, make as many points, but they're great with the team and they have a multiplier effect. And so with this whole concept of attitude, you've got to be very careful about this. And if you have a bad attitude and you're toxic for your team, you could be on your way out. And lastly, legal or ethical violations will get you out the door very, very quickly. So here is where I close up by saying, you should be fired for all of these things. You will be let go eventually if you keep them up. And this is a sure way to know that you are on your way out or that somebody should be on their way out. Let me tell you the truth about this. If we started to hold the line with supers, they would start to learn technology, they would stop giving excuses, they would stop keeping the plan in their head, they would stop being stubborn, they would stop harassing, they would stop discriminating, they would stop holding us hostage. We would get a newer, better batch of superintendents. We would be able to train and hire and promote from within, and we would really be able to drive this industry forward. It's time to stop tolerating bad behavior from supers. Those days are gone. We need Superintendent 2.0 and then 3.0 then 4.0. Don't ever tell me again that you don't use computers. Don't ever tell me again that you have the plan in your head. You already know that's wrong. Don't ever tell me again that you look down on workers and foremen. Don't ever tell me again that you can't work with a team. Don't ever tell me again any of this negative, toxic crap. If you are not willing to come in, work as a team, be in a growth mindset, give and serve and love, adopt the last planner system, change your mindset, learn and grow, understand tact, understand how to plan projects, be on time, and actually add value, then you don't belong there. So I hope this video has helped anybody that is wanting to evaluate this circumstance. I am going to leave you a Canva graphic in the description below. I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.